Jason Gilbo here at Fantasy Football Cafe. Every Wednesday, I will be taking a look at Survivor Leagues, giving my picks, looking at those Survivor pools, whatever you want to call them. But if you're not familiar with them, you're picking teams to win, but once you use that team that week, you can't use them again for the rest of the season, and you keep going until you get knocked out. It's a lot of fun, good type of game to get together with coworkers or friends and play for some money. So it's cool. Sometimes you can buy back into the pool if you get knocked out early. Um, usually you can get into after week one as well. So there's still some time to get in some leagues. It's pretty fun. So definitely go and do that. But every Wednesday I'll be here going through my favorite teams to get W's this week and jumping right into it. I'm looking right off the bat at some Vegas lines, and Green Bay, New England, and Dallas are all favored by a touchdown. But I think Green Bay is probably the only team I really trust. But I do think there are better options out there. I just don't buy the Vegas lines for Dallas. I think just the big market team. Giants, they're definitely capable of keeping up with them in the offensive side of the ball. Just another NFC East battle. I'll look the other way on that one. Same thing with the Pats. A little surprise there. Steelers, pretty decent team on the offensive side. I don't care if Le'Veon Bell's missing or not. Roethlisberger and that wide receiver core can put up some points, even though the defense hasn't been that great. But I still think that's going to be a close game. So I'm not really buying those options either. Like I said, the Packers definitely the team to look at if you want a safe, high-end profile team right off the bat. Even with injuries to Jordy Nelson, there's still enough beef there to pound on that Chicago defense. However, if Randall Cobb does sit, that kind of skewers the choice there a little bit. I'll probably not use them. But the teams I actually like the most here is the Carolina Panthers. Even though they're traveling on the road to Jacksonville, the Jags offense in the works right now, but not going to be there really this season, outside of maybe a few players. But overall, I expect the Carolina Panthers defense to get the job done. And even without Kelvin Benjamin, Carolina should power through with Jonathan Stewart, Cam Newton. There's enough there. They enter as small favorites even on the road. I think Panthers are a good team to get out of the way early because they're going to be involved in some of those division games where I think the Falcons are a toss-up, Saints are a toss-up with them, and even the Bucs this year could be a toss-up with the Panthers. I don't think the Panthers are going to be great all year long, so I'm definitely think they're a nice team to get out of here early, so I'm pretty confident in choosing them this week against the Jags. The Miami Dolphins are my next on the list. They come in as 3.5-point favorites. Right now, taking on the Redskins, I think that number could be higher as well. I think Miami should actually pulverize them on both sides of the ball, and I'm also not worried about them being on the road. Dolphins defense looking to make a statement, and they should be licking their chops facing Kirk Cousins and that mediocre offense and everyone that's around him. And I think in an offense with Tannehill, they're going to put up some points on the Washington defense because they could hardly stop the pass at all last season. So I think they're also another safe pick. If you want to get one of these poor teams out of the way, the Jets are at home this week. They're favorites, facing the Browns, who have zero playmakers in their wide receiving core. Until Duke Johnson really touches the ball, I don't see much in the backfield as well. And of course, not much going on with Josh McCown there. I think the Jets have a nice front seven. They got Revis in the back. Secondary, they're leading the way. Defense is going to be pretty solid, and I think with Fitzpatrick and all those guys, Chris Ivory, Brandon Marshall, Eric Decker, they're going to put up some points, enough to get the W this week. So I think the Jets are a really great team to get out of the way early. The most risky pick, I would have to say, goes to the Bucs. They're going to face the Titans at home this week, so my first home team. Titans ranked just ahead of the Bucs last season when they were both battling for their future franchise quarterbacks. But I just like the Tampa core a little bit more. Even if Mike Evans sits, he did not practice today, but I still think there's enough there. I think Doug Martin's going to get off to a right track for his rebound season. Titans gave up the second most rushing yards per game and the third most points per game last season, so they're not really a stout defense. I think Winston, I mentioned him as a streamer earlier this week, so I like Tampa quite a bit, and I think you won't see him too often here, but I think getting him out of the way like the Jets here week one, it's a good start. So I'm staying away from the other games this week, especially the two Monday night games. I think those are you got the Falcons and Eagles, both high octane offenses, and I think that's a toss up there. I think Vikings and 49ers is a toss up as well. I think the Vikings actually may snag that game on the road. Looking at some of the other Colts offense or the Colts Seahawks, two teams I'm just going to wait on. I think the Colts are going to have a slim lead going into Buffalo. I think the Seahawks may struggle a little bit as well going back east, facing the Rams. So there's definitely better times to use both those teams, and everywhere else I am not paying attention to. So look for the Bucks, the Jets, the Panthers, the Packers, and the Dolphins as your top teams this week. And both of them, or all of those guys, should get you through week 1.